Speaking of adding attributes to objects, you can actually do something called freezing attributes. And again, I'm going to move the keyboard over here. But instead of putting @triggers2 in, like sometimes these things get really long when you've got a whole bunch of attributes. You can go to the inspector for that object, and then you can freeze any attributes that are italicized. So if this is italicized, it's not going to remember it when you save the patch. It's going to go back to the default. But what you can do is you can put -1 in here and click this freeze button. It'll freeze the attribute. It'll turn blue. And then every time you load it, it will load with that attribute in that object, which is probably especially useful for people that use like jitter objects, because there's so many attributes for some of those jitter objects. I find split and root pass very useful for filtering and allowing the 0 and a 1 from a toggle to go to different places. So a lot of people use select for this, and it bangs and it does something, but you can actually just use split without any arguments, and then root pass without any arguments, and they'll automatically be filtering out 0s and 1s to their respective left or right outputs. You can suppress inlets on comments. So this is something that is useful if you are accidentally connecting cables to your comment objects a lot. So if I have a comment here that says use this outlet, I can actually just click on this suppress inlet, and then it's just a comment without the ability to connect anything. Message boxes actually have the option not to save content, so it kind of functions like a ZL reg. You can look in here if you look in here in the inspector for the message box, don't replace, don't restore contents. You can have this clear out every time you load a patch. MIDI and keyboard mapping is really easy in Macs. If I wanted to map this toggle object, for example, all I have to do is click on either assign MIDI map or assign key map. Most of the elements are not going to have a box around them, but the interactive ones do. If it's dotted, you can enable it. It's not enabled by default. If it has a solid box around it already, then it's already ready to map. But this one I'm going to enable for mapping, and then all you do is click on show mappings here, and then I'm going to click on what key I want to map it to, just like you do in Ableton Live. And then it is mapped, so now I can exit the mapping here, and if I click on, every time I click on this, it is enabling or disabling that toggle. Expr random is a easy way to randomize between two numbers. You don't have to put a random and then plus or minus or whatever. You can just you can use this formula, expr random, parentheses, first number, second number, and then all the numbers that it spits out will be between those two numbers.